Okay, let's get this thing on the road. This is, as you can see, Battle Brothers. It's a tactical RPG kind of thing that I've been meaning to try out again in the past couple of days, mainly because it seems pretty interesting. It's still in early access, but it's on Steam and you can get it there if you're interested in actually getting it. And I'm going to be starting a new campaign, so let's see. I'm just going to be playing a normal difficulty because I'm still not really all that good at the game, so yeah. But let's see if we can find a decent banner. Let's go with this. Sure, why not? The last battle. It all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hired to track down Hoggett the Weasel and his band of raiders, but it was them who found you first. An ambush, some joke about horses, cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrows shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men holler and scream, a great volume before death. This is a weird thing to actually pronounce. Text is a bit wonky, but as the hail subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of your men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout in pain. A hurried glance sees the men charge without you to make a valiant last stand. Met in force as steel clashes with steel. You meet eyes with the captain. A last nod before his throat is cut. You're left in command now. You're left in command now of what few men remain. Trembling in pain, you lean on your sword, and with all the will you can muster, slowly rise again. To the end. And we have the first battle. And we already lost a guy. And lost another. And they have pretty decent gear, so I don't get why we actually lost those, but let's see. We have our 3 men here. Try and go for an aim shot. Well, better chance to hit this guy, but now this guy is just going to run away, so actually trying to do anything to him is pretty much pointless. So let's try and hit this guy. Didn't. Your archers are going to fail most of the time early on in the game, but that's just the way of it. Now we have a guy here with a two-handed axe, and it is kind of risky to have him go first, so let's try something else. And hopefully... oh. Out of action. And he got stunned as a result. We're not going to get any decent shots here, so let's see. We still go here and get a snapshot. At the risk of hitting one of our guys, so let's get a better angle. Take this guy out first because our club is actually pretty bad in this case, because it can stun. And now we have a much better chance of hitting this guy. Still not a good one, but a chance nonetheless. And we missed. That guy's down. Try and get him. Nah, let's just try and shoot him. Still not hitting. That's the main thing I really don't like about two-handed weapons. You almost never hit. But if you do, they do a lot of damage. But you can usually only swing once before the turn is over, and that's kind of pointless. And we won anyways, but we did take some damage. I got a shield. Great. And thus ended our first battle. And I think we're continuing the story, so I'm going to read that up as well. You're alive. You won. The adrenaline fades, and in its wake, you can't help but sink back to the ground. It looks like you won't be holding your sword again anytime soon. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow's shaft. Your chest heaves for breath, feeling the pain well up in your very lungs. Most of the company lies dead. All those men you fought with side by side in the shield wall this past year. And Hogger did justice to his name, running like a weasel that people mock him to be. Running like the weasel that people mock him to be. What now? What now? A voice says from behind. It's what Edward. Yeah, that's how you pronounce that. Which sits down beside you, bedding his bloodied axe on his legs. Okay. You turn to him to reply, but before you can answer, he continues. The captain is dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man, and a damn good leader. But all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Horik Darks joins the two of you, still breathing heavily. Let's save the anointments for another day. I figure we give the men a good burial and return to Blankwasser to collect our pay. The Weasel's men are slain, after all, even if the man himself tucked tail and ran. And we ought to see to that arrow sticking out of you before we lose another man. So be it. And now we enter the world map. Now, the world map is randomly generated at the... Pause. The world map is randomly generated at the start of every new campaign. And as you can see, we have Blankwasser up here, which is the town they want us to go to. But we also have a hell of a lot more on the map. Each one of these names is a city or a town. We also have one down here, actually. Some of them, as you can see, have a banner that's basically signaling that they're owned by a faction. If they don't have a banner, they're neutral, but can be taken over by the different factions later on. But let's continue with the story, and I'll cover a bit more about that. That's something they actually changed recently. It came out this year in a faction system. And they've actually improved the game quite a bit from when I last played it. This does seem pretty interesting though, so let's go on, get our reward. And as you can see, it travels pretty slowly. We're moving through a swamp now, and it's obviously going to take a bit more time. We also have forest, roads, grass plains, all sorts of terrain. But yeah, to return to Blankwasser. What a sorry display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Blankwasser. 4 bloodied and beaten mercenaries down on their luck. The man who hired the company days ago, Orford the Younger, no doubt expected you to return in a more glorious fashion. Still, he welcomes you to his house again, and offers bread and wine while a servant fetches a healer. Few words are exchanged except for the occasional grunt and wheeze as an elderly man with shaky hands tends to your wounds. Finally, Alfred the Younger breaks the silence. So, how did you fare? A pin knives through your skin, the first of many stitches to come. Again, strange word choice. You grit your teeth till you think you hear one break. I guess I should have pronounced that a bit differently, but oh well. Actually, give me a moment. I can't see the chat. There. Where did I get to? Alfred the Younger takes on a grave look, and he quickly hides its face behind a drink of wine. Finding breath, you give answer to his asinine question. That's a pretty decent way of putting it. We killed all of Hoggard's men, but he managed to elude our blades in the end. I really need to practice. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke. Okay, this I'm just gonna say right here, the writing seems pretty damn butchered for whatever reason. I don't remember it being this strange. But yeah, suggesting he wants to push it into your wound. You nod and he does so. For for a moment, that's all there is. You're not a man, but a pinch of fire, flesh from flame. As the pain subsides, you come to see that Alfred the Younger's mood has lightened. So all his men are dead then? Well, that's... I see. A good thing you removed that threat from Blankwasser. But that man truly is elusive. We expect to get paid for this. Alfred the Younger gasped. Well, naturally. I gave my word, didn't I? 100 crowns for every man. So as I see it, that's 400 crowns for the 4 of you. He gestures towards a servant who nods and hands him a wooden chest from which to take the pay. I wonder, may I make use of your services one more time? I'd very much like to end the headache that has Hoggard the Weasel once and for all. And I would pay you again, of course. Another 400 crowns, shall we say? Eduardo scruffs and turns to drink more wine, but Horik the Ox stands to speak. Yes, the company is in ruin, but we can rebuild it. You know, Eduardo, he'd drink the crowns away and end up begging on the streets. Gernot wouldn't fare any better chasing the womenfolk until one stove his rotten head in. We need the White Wolves. It's all we have. What say you, Captain? Eduardo burps. Edward? Did I call him Eduardo all this time? Oh well. Edward burps and raises his cup to you. Gernot playfully thumbs his nose and nods. You're their captain now. Oh, okay, that was bugging me. Sorry. And your men look to you for leadership. Well, I don't think it's alright for the weasel guy to get away with actually killing most of our men, so yes, we have unfinished business with Hoggard. This is basically the tutorial in case people haven't figured that out yet. Alfred the Younger claps his hands in satisfaction. Very good, excellent. I'll need some time to find out where Hoggard is hiding his hide now. In the meantime, I suggest to see about stocking up on supplies so that you will be good and ready to end this when the time comes. I shall see you in a few days. In a few days' time at the least. This is weirdly written. As you leave the comforts of Alfred the Younger's house and stand on the outskirts of Blankwasser again, Horik the Ox seeks a word with you. What is it we need? What it is we need is more men, Captain. I know I gave a big speech back there, but we ain't nothing without more warm bodies in the ranks. We should hire at least 3 more sword hands, buy them some decent weapons, dress them in the best armor we can afford. The man pauses to glance around. I bet this Bowdoin town's got a desperate peasant or two looking for a new life. Or we could travel to Vikstad in the north. Them city folk aren't always as hardy as these country bumpkins, but we are more likely to find men with fighting experience stopping to rest there. And they'll sell better weapons too. That's what we shall do. And now we get to the town screen. So the first thing we are going to need is get some more battle brothers, basically. And we can do that by clicking on hire. And we have a couple of selections here. Now we have Alfred the Weasel. Wonder if he's related. Who's a peddler. And the background peddler gives him higher range defense but lower melee skill. I guess it's because peddlers are used to dodging rocks thrown at them or something. Not entirely sure. Don't really care. But he's generally not all that great in terms of stats otherwise. He's pretty poor actually. But he is cheap. He's only 200 crowns. And we have 3,400, so we could get him. But let's see what else we have. We have Corey the Fisher, which has a background as a fisherman, but that background doesn't have any special modifiers, so he's also going to be pretty poor in terms of stats. He does start out with some different equipment though. He starts out, well, first of all with a hat. I mean, a hat is important. But he also starts out with a net and a knife, it looks like. Which is not really that useful. He's also more expensive, so I don't really think he is a good choice. Then we have Wolf, who's a tailor. Now I actually do want a tailor at some point, so I might actually just get this guy first off. Now tailors don't have any special attributes due to their background, but what they do have is special events that can trigger. I don't know if these are still in the game, but if they are, I definitely want to have a tailor with me in the beginning of the game, because I can actually get some pretty decent equipment if I do. So yeah, let's hire her. And let's see what we actually have. So we start out with 3 Battle Brothers, basically what's left of our company before it was attacked by that weasel guy. And the first one here we have is Horik the Ox. Now he's equipped with a spear and a shield. And he's called the Ox. So let's see, what are his... He has a background of companion, higher bravery and higher melee skill, which is the only people you can get who have this background is the 3 first people you start with. Everybody else will have a different background, but background companion means you started with them. It's their special kind of thing. And he actually has a decent... He actually has a unique description. As you might be able to read. I know the resolution is not all that good for the text in this game, but I can't really do anything about it. But he also has... He's fat. So that's why they call him the Ox, I assume. This character is more interested in pork chops than exercising and will run out of breath more easily. So fat basically means he has plus 10 hit points and minus 15 max fatigue. Now that's not really a good trade-off in my opinion. He's not going to be all that useful later on. But I mean, he is part of our battle group, so we might as well keep him to begin with. And then he has Brute. He does 15% more damage on a hit to the head, but minus 5 melee skill. This guy is generally not that good, actually. I mean, he's actually not that good. But I'm going to keep him around anyways, because I need Min and I don't feel like buying a new one right away. So let's see, the next one we have is Edward. Again, companion, and he's tough. That's the only modifier he actually has, which is plus 10 hit points. So he's actually not bad, even though he's wielding a two-handed weapon. Actually, I might... he has 60 melee skill, that's pretty good for this early. But it also means that what I was thinking, which is basically take the two-handed the woodcutter's axe and give to Horik the Ox and give this guy the sword the spear and shield instead, is not really going to work all that well, because this guy is just going to miss even more. He also had a Rocket Surcoat, which is taking damage, but it's being repaired, so it'll be alright. And then we have the third companion, who is an Optimist. Plus 5 resolve and puzzle. These guys are not really all that good. I rolled with some pretty terrible traits. Okay, maybe not terrible, but they're not really great. And let's see, Wolf. He's a tailor and he's club-footed. Builds up 2 more fatigue for each tile traveled. That's also pretty bad, but I mean, I'm going to use him in the next fight, but only for as long as I can get someone else. And then I'll just place him somewhere else. Also, another new feature they added to the game is you can now arrange how your party is starting in the battle. So if I take a Gernot, something like that, I can place him here, and he'll actually be behind these guys when they line up. And I can place this guy in front of him, and he'll be relatively safe. Now if I place him down here, he'll be in reserves, and he won't be included in the battle. As you can see here, you can only have a maximum of 12 guys in your formation. You can have more than that, but only 12 guys will actually be in the formation. So you can have 12 guys, including an additional, that's 9, it looks like. 9. So you can have a lot more soldiers now, you can have some in reserve, which is a good thing, because previously you could only have 12 maximum. Which means that if you wanted to train up someone new, you had to get rid of someone else. And that wasn't always a good thing. Anyways, we have pretty much checked out everyone. And I have to admit, I'm not really pleased with the selection we have, but I can't really do anything about it. So I'm just going to have to hope that I can pick up better people. Now, the next place we have is the marketplace, so let's see. Definitely want more shields and another spear. Ooh, a pitchfork is not a bad weapon. I want that instead of two-handed axe, actually. So yeah, let's get that. And let's get a helmet. Now, we could also get a thick tunic. What kind of armor does this guy have? He has a linen tunic. So it would be better to get a thick tunic for him. It's not really that expensive, so why not? And I'm not gonna get a buckler because that's pointless. So yeah, let's equip this guy. Give this guy a hood so we can get rid of his ridiculous hairdo. Give this guy a shield and a spear, and give this guy a pitchfork instead, and place it back here. Because the special thing about the pitchfork is that it's a halberd weapon, which means that it has a range of 2 tiles. This is really good if you're two-handing a weapon, because it means you can give some distance to the enemy. Especially when you're using a two-handed weapon, this is a really good thing. Another good thing about the pitchfork is that it has a chance to hit head plus 5%, which means that you're more likely to hit the head. And if you hit someone in the head, they'll take a hell of a lot more damage. So that's a good thing. You also have, it also has 40% damage, ignores armor, 75% effective against armor. So it does 75% damage to armor, and then it ignores 40% of armor. Or 40% of the damage ignores armor. That's a weird way of wording it. Either one works. And as I said, it has a range of 2 tiles. It also takes 14 maximum fatigue to have equipped, which is kind of expensive, but considering that you only really need to hit once or twice with it, it's not really too bad. And it's actually a lot better than the Woodcutter's Axe, which has more damage and does a hell of a lot more damage to armor as well, and shields. But you need to be within closer range, and that's a bad thing in general until you get some better armor. And I don't really have the option of getting better armor at this point, so I'm just gonna have to go with this. But yeah, we can just pretty much sell the rest. I don't need the axe. I'm gonna keep the shield. Get rid of the linen tunic. Now, I'm only using 8 provisions per day, so I'm not gonna get more provisions. These will last me 6 days. I don't need more tools. Don't really need more ammunition. So let's leave this joint and go to Rikstad instead. Hopefully pick up some better guys and some better equipment. And you travel faster on roads. Well, as fast as you can through a swamp, but still, you travel faster on roads, so it's... When you click somewhere, the character on the map will prefer traveling on roads, if possible. Along the way, as the silhouette of Vikstad appears on the horizon, thank you, Gernot seeks a word with you. Never been to Vikstad before myself, but I've been around. These big cities are expensive, much more so than Blankvasser and other villages like it. But the merchants have everything we need: weapons, armor, food. If there's a smithy in Vikstad, it's worth a visit too. Will be expensive for sure, but they'll sell real weapons made for war and not just farming tools. Says the guy with a pitchfork. We could also browse the wares on the market, of course. There's a few bargains to be made, but they'll also try to sell us stuff that'll break apart if you so much as sneeze on it. Don't get swindled by them cutthroat merchants, Captain. And by that he means that weapons you can get from, say, the marketplace has a chance of being damaged. That's the percentage you saw on the weapon. And if it's damaged, it's more likely to break in combat. But you do repair anything you've equipped on your characters as long as you have tools. So it's not really too big of a problem, as long as you avoid combat until it's repaired. Edward sees fit to add his own opinion of what you should do. If there's a good tavern, I say that's where we head first. Pay around from the company's coffers to get all of us drunk for the night and raise our spirits. Gods know we've earned it. Gernot shakes his head. You say that every time we stop into town, even when we ain't even done anything. I'll keep that in mind. And by that it actually means that we can get a morale boost by going to a tavern, if we pay for drinks. And we actually have one right here. Now, we also have a temple, which is not implemented yet. I'm not sure what it's going to do later. We also have a Veterans Hall, which is also not implemented yet, but again, later. But let's check soldiers first, see if we can hire someone better. Now we have an adventurous noble here, but as you can see, he's pretty damn expensive. But he also has pretty good gear. Adventurous nobles have higher bravery, higher melee skill, but lower range defense. Not really as big of a problem as you might think. Another thing is that he actually has 3 levels, which is pretty good. So he starts out at level 3 rather than level 1 like all the other units. So he is quite a bit better, but he's also significantly more expensive as a result. Then we have Engelbert, who's a day tailor. Basically just a worker. An extra hand, basically. It says so in its description. And every character has a description, but in most cases it's almost the same based on their background. There's few variations here and there, but not too many. Then we have Askir of the Old Guard, who's a retired soldier. Now, retired soldiers have higher bravery, higher melee skill, higher melee defense, higher range defense, but they have lower hit points and lower max fatigue due to their advanced age. But they're generally high stats, low survivability basically, and they can't really do all that much. I don't really consider these to be all that worth it, but they do usually start with more levels, and they're usually better geared, but they're also more expensive, as you can see. I could afford hiring this guy, but it's a bad idea. Then we have Harkon, the fisherman. Another fisherman, not really interested. Another fisherman. Walter, the servant. So, never seen anyone. He's pretty damn cheap. I have a feeling he's not going to be worth anything. So I'm not gonna get him. We have Dirk, who's a gravedigger. Higher bravery, higher max fatigue. That's not actually too bad. I mean, right now we just need some bodies to actually take on the next battle, so it's better to just get some cheaper soldiers, basically cannon fodder, so you can get rid of them later and make some more money. So let's get him. He's pretty cheap. And let's get Walter as well. He is also pretty cheap. And we have Bertolf, who's a militia. Better equipped, better skills, generally. Doesn't actually say here in the background, but they do generally have better skills. He's also a bit more expensive, and he starts with an additional level, not really worth it. Let's see, let's take Engelbert as well, and then we have, I think we have enough guys now to actually muster some kind of offensive. Let's see, Walter, what's your gluttonous? Okay, so he eats more. And he's currently not equipped with any weapons, so he has hand-to-hand attack. Then we have Engelbert, who's short-sighted and cocky. So he's not very good either. He's going to die pretty soon. But that's why we hired him. He's going to die, so might as well make him cheap. And Dirk doesn't actually have any other traits. His melee skill is actually pretty decent. He might not have been that bad of a choice. Would have been better if he actually had some kind of better traits, but he's not bad. Engelbert is pretty bad. And Walter is pretty bad. So yeah, let's pick up some equipment, just some basic stuff, so we can at least ensure they don't die right away. And we also have some ambush shards, but these are pretty expensive, so I'm not going to get them. Basically, these are just trade items you can buy and sell off somewhere else. And you can see how much they're worth compared to what you are actually buying them for in the store. For example, here you're buying them for 380, crowns. Their worth is about 260, which means that if you go somewhere else with them, you would need to go somewhere where it's really rare for Amblesiarch to be, to actually make any kind of profit off here. So it's not a good idea to get these. Everything else you see here is basically just food. This is medicine, which is medical supplies. You use them to heal up your units after battle. We have tools, which are pretty expensive here, and ammunition, which is also pretty expensive. So everything's pretty expensive. Let's get some gear. Let's see. We have 3 guys we need to equip, so let's get 3 shields. Actually, I might just get 2 shields and a pitchfork, a spear. Let's get an axe and some armor, some headgear as well is usually a good idea, because as I said before, blows to the head do a lot more damage. So let's see, that should be enough to equip those guys. Who has the worst? That's probably these 2. So let's give, this was the guy that's okay. Let's give him the padded leather armor. Actually, what's his fatigue is okay, actually, even with that on. Then let's give him a shield and a spear. And a hat. Which is damage, but we'll repair it in time, I guess. This guy is pretty terrible. This guy was a little bit better, so let's give him the armor. And let's give him a pitchfork and put him on the second line. And then give this guy the shield, axe, give this guy a hat as well. And the head armor. And that's basically as good as it's going to get for this guy. Market didn't really have any other armor that's worth getting, so get rid of this, these, don't really need them. Okay, we should be okay now. Have 2 guys with pole arms, 3 guys with spears and shield, a guy with an axe and shield, and 1 archer. We don't really have any other archers, but we don't really need more of them. Well, not right now. Archers are not really that good early on, because they're going to miss most of the time. But let's go back to Blankwasser, and hopefully hunt down that Weasel guy. Unfortunately, there's no way to speed the game up. So it's always so traveling is always going to take a bit of time. And more story. Ulfred the Younger awaits you impatiently, pacing back and forth as you put down your bags and muddy shoes. Well, we did go through a swamp, so finally you're here. I have good news. We got hold of one of Hoggard's former men. The healer who damn near killed you with a fire poke is standing nearby. He's picking chunks of dried blood out of his fingernails. Ulfred the Younger laughs. We had a nice little talk with the man, and now we know where Hoggard's licking his wounds. I'm eager to rid myself of him once and for all. You give him a waiting look, and then ask, well, where is he? Ulfred the Younger straightens up, as though the excitement had lost him a fair bit of composure. Oh, right. He's hiding in some small hut on the plains to the northeast of here. I'll mark it on your map. Apparently he managed to gather more men in the short time since your battle. I suspect he knows the White Wolf is on his heals like a bunch of bloodhounds. Good luck. He called us bloodhounds. We're wolves, damn it. We'll return with his head. And I don't think the marketplace actually has... It does have bludgeons, which might be better than axes. But that depends on who has shields in the next battle. But it shouldn't be too bad. Let's just leave and see. Where is he? Oh, he's up here. And I know the text is going to be pretty difficult to read, seeing as it's red text on a slightly shaded background. But it's right here. Hoggard's Refuge. Refuge. Yeah. Let's see. We're going to be attacking in the middle of the day. We have a few bandit thugs and a bandit marksman. Engage. And as you can see, they're now in the formation we put them in. Although they are mirrored, but it's not too bad. And then we have a guy with a... That's the... ooh, that's double. He's actually two-handing that pickaxe. A guy with a shield and a pickaxe, a shield and a flail, I think. And two unidentified hidden opponents. A total of 5 against our 7. 7 mostly useless guys, but you get the idea. Now we have the best chance of hitting this guy, so... Well, it was worth a shot at least. Now, I'm pretty sure they don't have the actions to actually get all the way here. So I think I'm just going to skip the turn. And here we have Hoggard the Weasel. Yeah, you just skip as well. And you just skip. You two. And you two. And yeah, you can see the battle and the order of which people move in battle down here. That's not actually a bad weapon, yes. But you get up here, actually. And he has a crossbow. So you can't do anything to move up there, but you can move here to do a spear wall. You stay here. Now you can wait a turn or end your turn. Waiting a turn basically puts you at the first part of the progress bar down here, so that you can act after everybody else. It's generally a good idea to do that in case you want to do a bit more maneuvering, like what I'm doing. And you do a spear wall as well. And then end your turn. Now you go up here and wait. And you shoot this guy. And you miss. And you go over here and wait your turn. And that's the effect of the spear wall, as you can see. He just gets pushed back every time he enters the spear wall, which is the 2 tiles in front of him as far as I remember. Now this guy actually managed to get through it, and so did this guy. But I was prepared for that, so let's go over here. You can actually hit this guy as well. And you... I mean, he'll be surrounded if he goes up here, so... That's probably a bad idea. So... Oh wait, I actually want him to die, so just do that. And you, because he is wielding a pitchfork, he can actually reach this guy. past this guy without actually hurting him. So let's see. And that's pretty effective. And the same for this guy. This is why I pushed back their turn to now, because now everybody is close, so I can actually hit them. And that's 2 of their guys down within 1 turn. Now let's see. Can hit this guy. At the risk of hitting my own, but still. Now I want to make sure this guy doesn't run anywhere, so let's just zone him like that. And you get up here and stab this guy. And then end your turn. And you put up your shield and stab. And you can't hit from there, but you can hit from here. Sorry about that, just gotta check something. Nothing. So you run over here. Can't do anything right now, but that's okay. And you go up here, and you can't attack this turn. Now, he used a riposte move, but because this guy is 1 tile away from him, he can't actually riposte him, so we can hit him and not get hurt. And you just pummel this guy, chop him to pieces, if you could actually hit. And you don't really have a good shot, so you just pass. And you can also hit. But you didn't. Now you just raise your shields and hold back. And you stab this guy. Again. And you raise your shield and try to stab. That was a bad idea. I forgot about the riposte. Anyways, you still can't do anything. And you died. I'm not sure why, but he died. What does the log say? Oh, he was wavering. He basically tried to run away, and if you run away while you're inside an enemy's zone, they get a free hit on you. And they will continue to get free hits as you try to get away. So he basically tried to run away and was stabbed in the back for it. And that's just how it should be. Now, try impaling him again. And you too. And you get over here, just because, and shield up. And that guy actually managed to die. Oh, that was actually one of my companions. Shit. I always manage to lose one of my companions in this fight, and it's pretty annoying. But he's almost dead now, so it's not too bad. And I still don't have a good shot. Might have one up here. No. So you just hang around. And you finish the job. So Horik the Ox actually died. As far as I remember, that was the guy that was fat and a brute, so it's not really too bad. I was going to get rid of him anyways. And we get some loot. I like crossbow. That's one of the new weapons. They added that in the latest patch. And it's basically the lowest tier of crossbows. And a reinforced wooden flails, armor, free shields. And we got the falchion that the weasel was using. That's pretty good. That's a pretty decent weapon. And another spear, a knife, some tools, some money, some ammunition, some mushrooms, not the fun kind, and some cloth rolls. That's another trade item we can sell. Let's just take it all and leave. So we managed to almost do it without losing anyone, but we did manage to lose one guy. And that kind of sucks, because at least it was one of the guys we were going to get rid of. So it's not too bad. So let's see. I still have this guy who's club-footed. Funny thing is, he's club-footed, but I used him to tag down the archer. He actually managed to run up to the archer, hold him there, and managed to kill him as well, while being club-footed. That's pretty impressive. Now this guy I wished had died, but didn't. He will eventually. Until then, he can use this armor. And let's give him the falchion as well. Yeah. No, let's just give him a spear. Falchion is slightly more damage, but it's not as effective against armor as the spear is. So the militia spear is actually better in this instance, unless I go up against unarmored foes, in which case the falchion is better. But yeah, let's go back to Blankwasser and get our reward. Oh yeah, more story. Hoggard lies dead in a pool of his own blood, skewered into a grotesque and panicked pose. He didn't weasel his way out of this one. You put a boot on his corpse and look to your men. For the company, for all the men who've fallen. Wolf spits on the dead man's face. Let's take this bastard's head and get back to Blankwasser. It's not good. It's not a cheerful mood that the men are in, but it is a content one, like a blue horizon glowing before a furiously rising sun. The deed is done and the company is avenged. In this world, that's about as much closure as one can hope for. Time to get paid. And now we're just going to go back to Blankwasser. Along the way, you lead the way back to Blankwasser as Wolf picks up the pace to catch up with you. Got a moment, Captain. You nod for him to speak his mind. The battle has left armor and shields battered, and the men have sustained some wounds. Perhaps we should make camp so we can get everything in order and put new bandages on. We'll be a lot quicker if we don't have to do it on the road. Every man maintains what equipment they carry, but you will have to say if we should repair some of the plunder as well. Need to have the tools for that though. Of course. We keep in mind that the camp's fire will be seen from afar, especially come nighttime. I'll keep that in mind. Traveling. And that's trade caravan. The company returns to Blankwasser as victors, their heads held much higher than the last time they visited. The White Wolves are not the size they once were, but it's still a force to be reckoned with, as Hoggard the Weasel learned too late. You carry his head in a sack that you empty in front of Alfred the Younger's feet. As it rolls towards him, he takes a step back, momentarily startled, only to approach again with curiosity. So it really is him. Yes, we're rid of him. Alfred the Younger rubs his hands, his face turning into a grimace of cold satisfaction. Not speaking a word, his eyes glued to the Weasel's frozen and slack-jawed gaze, he claps his hands for the servants to fetch the coins and pay you as promised. You raise your voice to the men. As long as there is blood coursing through our veins, as long as we can hold sword and shield in hand, there shall stand the White Wolves. We've done it before and we'll do it again. We'll make the company known throughout the land. The men cheer. Edward puts his hand on your shoulder. You did well, Captain. Will you travel from one village to the next and look for work, or head out to explore and plunder on our own? The men will follow you as brothers in battle. As brothers. And that's the tutorial. Now we basically have the entire game open to us. But the first thing we should probably do is go out here and camp up. Just to get it to morning. And then we'll go look for work. And it's dawn, so let's go to Blackwasser. Let's see, do they have any missions? No. Do they have anything in the merchants? Well, we don't really want the flail. It's good for hitting in the head, but it does sucky damage. We can get a better version of the flail and that would be a whole lot better to use. But right now this one isn't that useful. Light crossbow, I mean, compared to a short bow, it's a lot better against armor. But the thing is, we're not going to face a whole lot of enemies with a whole lot of armor just yet, so crossbows aren't really that useful right now. Not to mention that our archers can't hit anyway, so why waste the money? Might as well sell that. We also have 2 pickaxes, which are really effective against armor, but not really all that great otherwise. Sell a knife. Get rid of the buckler, because bucklers are really useless. I mean, they cost roughly the same as a wooden shield. Actually, they have the price of a wooden shield. Why is this so cheap here? Sorry. Oh well, not really worth it. We have 3 wooden shields, and trust me, we will lose those eventually, so it's better to have some spares. And the axe, well, the hatchet is not really a bad weapon. Let's keep that around. Sell the quiver of bolts because we don't have the crossbow anymore. And sell the linen tunic. Sell the moss fruits as well. Cloth rolls we are going to keep for now, because I think we can sell those for a bit more than what we can here. And I think that's it. There's not really anything else I need to buy, is there? No. Not in this location. Actually, what? Tools are way too expensive here. So let's leave. There wasn't any guy, no. Leave, and let's see, what's the nearest town we haven't been to? Let's go to Nasenfels. See if they have any work there. And yeah, because the shortest distance to Nasenfeld is this way through the swamps, the AI will go through that way. But in most other cases they'll prefer the roads, because the roads are faster. You move faster on the roads, so it will prefer the roads. But it is actually taking the shortest path through the swamp, so that's nice. They've improved that quite a bit. That's not bad. By the way, the game is by a group of German developers, I think, and it's a passion project. This place actually has a contract available. It also has an armor. Let's see. As you can see, there's quite a lot of different armors available in the game. Most of them are very expensive. Are not actually that expensive. I might even consider getting some basic mail. Why is everything so cheap all of a sudden? In my other save game, all of this is a hell of a lot more expensive. Yeah, it's a little too early to get more armor, because the units can't actually carry all that much yet. Let's see, what do they have of soldiers? They have a miner. Oh, that's why it's so cheap here. It's a mining village. Which means, if I'm not entirely mistaken, no, they don't actually have iron bars or copper bars. Usually a mining village will, but this one doesn't, so oh well. It also has a short bow, which we don't really need. Tools, on the other hand, are exceptionally cheap in these places. I mean, tools are worth 250 crowns normally. You can buy them for 202 here. They're really, really cheap. So this is the place you want to go buy tools and stuff. Ammo is still kind of expensive. Need a lumber town for that. Food is, of course, also quite... Actually, ground grain is not that expensive. Cloth rolls are not really worth selling here. So let's see. Was there anyone to hire? Day tailor and a beggar. No, no one really worth hiring. But let's check on this contract. You enter a tavern and garner a few looks for your arrival. When men whisper to one another, the women ogle as they tend to do. The bartender fists a cloth into a mug and calls you over. You're that mercenary people have been wondering about. Curious, you ask how he could know, being that you aren't the only man walking around with a sword. He laughs. The eyes. That's where I can see it. You're a man who hunts a most dangerous sort of prey. A life of taking lives is a world in and of itself, but you seek out those whose lives have gained such odd values that their death would be but a monetary appreciation for others. This is a very well-spoken bartender. A purchase is placed. So thus you become means to a transaction. It is so, isn't it? You're a bone collector, my friend. A gravedigger paid in advance. He's very well spoken for a bartender. You nod, understanding. Suddenly a man comes up to you and explains that a local figure by the name of Robert the Treasurer wishes to have your ear. When you turn back, the bartender is gone. I'm all ears. I have several. See this chain? See this necklace? Robert the Treasurer settles down into his chair, laughing to himself as he does it. Don't be alarmed, sellsword. But they say ghosts are afoot. Yes, the local peasants are poisoning my mornings with constant talk of ghouls and goblins. They say that these supposed creatures are turning the cemetery upside down, raiding the graves to enlarge their army, or some such nonsense. Otherwise, obviously, it's just the work for some spade-wielding men intent on robbing graves for jewelry. Obviously, it's just the work of some... Oh, that's what they meant by it. I've seen it before. He looks down at his hands, briefly chuckling. Anyway, I can't just let it rest because these peasants won't get off my back about it. So, to ease them, there's you. I need you to go to the cemetery and clear out any troublemakers you find. How you do that is up to you, but I'll go ahead and suggest a good steal if you know what I mean. Let's talk money. You look able, so I'm willing to pay quite a bit. You'll get 170 crowns in advance and another 300 when the job is done. So that's a total of 470. I want more advance. I accept the offer. I want more on completion. I'm going to try that. Fair. Would you accept this instead? You'll be paid 150 crowns in advance and another 360 when the job is done. So previously it was 170 in advance and 300 when it's done, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. So this is actually more. Let's just accept it. The contract you negotiated is as follows. Do you agree to the terms? Secure ancient cemetery. I accept this contract. Now, I happen to know that if it's a cemetery, it's not going to be grave robbers. it's going to be zombies. And zombies can be a bit difficult to deal with, so one of the things I'm going to look for is stuff like axes. And well, I have the falchion, that's going to be pretty effective against them. But the axes are going to be even better. Because axes do more damage, you know, to those foes. So let's equip our guys with gear that actually makes sense in this case. I mean, Dirk, you're a gravedigger. You've dealt with zombies before. I'll give you this falchion. Wolf, you get a hatchet, and so do you, Engelbert. Hopefully none of you die this time. I doubt it, but hopefully none of you do. And you two can just stay the way you are. By the way, if you buy the game on early access, I think you also get the Fangshire, which is a special helmet. It has 60 armor, maximum fatigue -5, allows the wearer to see at night, and negates any penalties due to nighttime. So it's actually pretty decent archers. But for the most part I won't be fighting at nighttime, because that's usually not a good idea. But I think that's pretty much everything I'm going to need right now, so let's see, it's up here, so let's just get close, because we're almost reaching nighttime and I'm going to rest before trying to attack it. And hopefully we can scout it out before we attack it. So let's see, what do we have? Unknown garrison. So we don't know how many we are going to go up against, so let's rest a bit, just to make sure everything is repaired and such. And it's now morning, so let's get out, and I have the feeling the battlefield is either going to be a swamp or a forest. No, it's going to be a cemetery, but well, let's save first of all. And yes, I am going to save Scum, because that's just how I am. So let's call this stream, just so I know which one is which. Resume, and then attack. The grave robbers are here, just as promised. You catch them mid-dig, your brothers jumping over tombstones as with their weapons raised. Oh, it wasn't actually zombies. You can't make out who you will be facing. Attack at your own peril and be prepared to retreat if need be. Engage. Oh yeah, it's just bandits apparently. Well, that's a first. Not that I mind, zombies are kind of annoying to deal with, so this is perfectly fine with me. You go here because it's high ground. It is kind of annoying because I did equip my guys with axes. You try and get over here. We want to take the high ground, so the enemy doesn't get it. You go here, and then your turn. And you can't really reach it, so you just go here. You on the other hand, go here and put up a shield. And you go here. Oh wait. So let's see. 52. There's 13 enemies here. I just noticed that. You can see there's 13 opponents and 6 on my guys, so this is going to be a tricky fight. Luckily they're all bandit thugs, which means they have pretty bad gear and pretty bad armor, so for the most part I should be able to take them. Let's shoot at this guy, and this. As I said, your archers are going to miss a lot initially. That's just the way things are. Once they get a bit more skill points, they are going to do better. You go up here, and wait. You go up here, and raise your shield. Now you, seeing as he doesn't have a shield, let's just chop at him. And you can hit him, so do that. And so can you, and he's almost dead. Now, one thing I really like about this game is that you can visually see on a character when they're taking damage. So this guy is in pretty bad shape, but you can also tell by his bars that he's gravely wounded and catching his breath, so he already had his turn. He's also double gripping a club, so he can be a bit tricky. And you just stay here with your shield up. Now, I have a pretty decent chance of hitting, so... Oh, there we go. Nice clean hit. But yeah, I have the high ground at the moment, so I'm just going to let them come at me, rather than try and take them on the field. And now that guy is dead, so... they're not going to get within range this turn, so... Shield up and skip your turn. And you just do nothing. And you shield up and skip your turn. You shield up and skip your turn. You wait. And they have crossbows. This is not too big of an issue. And there's the last guy. No, that's not the last guy, never mind. So let's see. Pretty decent chance of hitting this guy. Hit him. Finally, my archer is doing some work. Stab this guy. Good. There's another two guys. This guy I want to be careful about. He's going to hit hard, and he's going to break shields. And that's not a good thing. You just stay here. And you slash. Now, you keep your shield up and try to hit this guy. And you stab him out range. Sooner he dies, the better. And there's the last guy. So now I can see all of them. You just stay there. And that crossbow ball actually hit. That's not good. Take up this guy. So yeah, I have a small defensive position up here, which means that they're not really going to have a big chance if they actually get close. So let's see, 28, 16, 26, this guy is easier to hit, missed anyways. And another guy with a two-handed axe. Put up a shield and end your turn. And you stab this guy. Didn't kill him, but this might. Yep. Shield up. And you shield up. That's not a good thing. You wait. My archer is in pretty bad position because I don't think I actually gave him a secondary weapon. You wait as well. Yeah, they're getting around. That's not a good thing. You try to chop this guy's shield up. And there goes his shield, because this guy has a two-handed axe. Now, did I equip us? Well, he has a knife. But he's most likely going to die. Stab this guy. They all have shields, so I'm not going to stand much of a chance there. Yeah. And an attack. And that was a critical hit to the head, which is why his head went flying. At least try to get some damage in before they die. That was probably a bad choice. I should have attacked one of those guys. This might actually get a bit tricky. This guy is almost dead. As is the archer. Yep, there goes the archer. That is my second companion gone. But as I said before, they weren't really that good, so not really a huge loss. Hit this guy. There we go. And stay there. You up with your shield. You riposte. Because they all have close range weapons, so if they try to attack him, you will attack them back. And you are pretty messed up. See if you can catch this guy. And you stab this guy. And there he goes. He's dead now. You go here. Yeah. You'll be low, but you'll still have a chance to hit this guy. Now someone is close to you though. And yeah, that's the riposte in effect. Break this guy's shield. Didn't really succeed. And he doesn't have a whole lot of fatigue left, so try to get this guy. Missed. This is going pretty badly. Lost two guys, and there's still a hell of a lot of those guys left. Damn it. Yeah, I might actually lose this fight. 3 guys left. Yep, there's another one. I'm going to lose. Just simply got overwhelmed. I might actually still be able to make it, but there's a very low chance. I mean, it's not helping that I have 2 archers shooting at me. Oh yeah. Oh, they're fleeing. That's a good thing. I actually managed to unnerve them enough that they're trying to get away. But then again, so is Walter. Dirk the Gravedigger is actually doing work. He's doing surprisingly well. Get in here. Then he can at least hide from the archers. And now he's within range. Oh, there goes Dirk. Lucky damn shot. So let's see. Yeah, didn't think so. He might actually get taken down with a knife. Yep. Defeat. Actually managed to lose that one, but that was kind of expected. That's a lot of dudes to go up against. Even if they're not really all that well armored or equipped, they're still going to do damage. Especially when they have archers with them. I didn't go down without a fight though. They had 2 guys left. So yeah, that's a game over already. But that's why I saved before I went in. So let's load up the campaign. And would it be enough to actually sorry, I'm sneezing all over the place. Would it actually be enough to just get some more bodies and then hopefully be able to kill everyone there? Because it's still going to be roughly the same battle. So let's see. Let's hire this guy and this guy. An elf, a beggar, is not worth hiring no matter how desperate you are. So let's see. Get a hat, a thick tunic. I do have some spears and some shields, which would have been a heck of a lot more useful as well. And I'm going to get Bludgeon for my archer. Actually, let's see, is any of the guys that just got any decent at archery? No. They both pretty much suck at it. But they can be equipped with a shield and a spear, which will help them quite a bit. This guy, give him a hat, spear, and a shield. And give Engelbert a spear. My archer is going to get a bludgeon. But yeah, 2 things went wrong in that fight. The first thing was I wasn't properly equipped to deal with bandits. The second thing was that I allowed them to attack my flank and take out my archer and get a more advantaged position against me. And that just goes to show how little actually is needed to turn the fight on its head. But let's see the armor for some better armor maybe. But he does have some padded leather, and he also had leather lamellar armor, which are both pretty good. Also had some better helmets, but I really want to get a bit more money before I start buying stuff. The knife and pickaxe. Is there any towns? I'm going to go down here. Hopefully pick up something more. Actually, I'm really low on food. Should be able to make it before I run out though. So let's go to Naivikai? How the hell do you pronounce that? Okay, well, let's see. We have a barber here. This is how you customize your units. Visit the barber and change their appearance. It doesn't cost anything. Let's take... where is he? Gernot, and change his ridiculous haircut to something less ridiculous, like... sure, why not? And the rest are decent enough, so I'm not gonna change them. Let's see. We have a lot more guys to hire. We have a thief. They typically have a decent amount of ranged, but I'm gonna see if I can get something else. Another peddler. By the way, thief have higher initiative. Fisherman. A rat catcher. Higher initiative. A juggler. Higher chance to hit head. Higher initiative. That's actually pretty good. I might actually get that guy. It's not too expensive. And then we have a historian who has increased experience gain. That's not too bad. Fisherman. Roderick, who's a brawler. Plus 100% damage when unarmed. Higher bravery, higher melee skill, higher fatigue. Sounds good, actually isn't. How do I like the game? Sorry, I didn't actually notice you were there. I like the game quite a lot. It's a really enjoyable game. It's difficult, but it's really enjoyable. Even if I'm only playing on normal difficulty, I already got one game over. That's pretty bad. Let's get the juggler. Actually, let's see, what other things does he have? He's quick. And he's greedy. So I have to pay him more than normally, but that's not too bad. It's a lot of fun. I hope they keep adding more stuff to it though. Like the noble houses seem neat, but nothing ever happens with them. It does later. Later in the game, stuff actually does happen. And they have said that they will be adding more stuff to the factions, to the noble houses and such. So there will actually be active war going on between them. But I'm not sure it's actually in the game right now. I just know they've talked about it. And when these guys talk about something, it's most likely going to go in the game. They're pretty consistent with updates. But yeah. Let's see, marketplace. Anybody? That's some padded leather here, that's okay. I need some headgear. Let's go with another spear. Amber is still a little too expensive here to get. I do need some armor, so let's get that. Equip that on this guy. Oh, by the way, it's fragile and hesitant. He's really damn bad. I hope he dies. Yeah, you just stay there. You get this and this. You're fancy. Because yes, he's more expensive, but he is also kind of better. Chance to hit 30%. Compared to 25% everybody else has. No, these two actually have. That's because of the 25%. Why does it say yes? Oh, it's just 5% higher. Okay, that's still pretty good. That means if I give him something that has increased chance to hit, he will actually have even more items. So that's good. Of course, once he gets some perks, that's better. How are my guys actually for experience? He's almost leveled up. And he's not far. I haven't actually gotten all that much experience on these guys. And yeah, there's a lot more to do in the game now than there was for about a month or two back. A month or two back, there was only really a handful of missions, and most of them were kind of boring. And the difficulty ramped up quite severely early on, because it was based entirely around how many levels and what kind of equipment you had, as well as how much gold you had, as far as I remember. So it got pretty ridiculous at some point. I'm looking. The Steam page is actually more frequently updated. And they cover all the updates there. The most recent update added light crossbows, a new polearm, but also changed the existing ones to be a bit more roll-based. But yeah, there's a lot of changes. I also need to get some food, that's right. Oh, and it's expensive, of course. Get some bread. I don't think there's anything else I really want. I could say it's blank versa, but that wouldn't get me anywhere. Let's get some... Let's get drunk. Dirk and Wilhelm are in good spirits. Good enough. So let's go to the ancient graveyard again. Yeah, they've done a lot in those 3 months. I mean, they changed the UI quite a bit, and they changed the map quite a bit. As you can see, towns now have a lot more around them, and everything kind of affects what's in the town. So blacksmiths and armorers, for example, this has a workshop and a military barracks. It also has a wooden watchtower, which means you can typically hire better soldiers here and get better equipment. And there's a reserve roster here. It's right down here. You can reserve 9, other than the 12 you have in your actual formation, which is really handy. So now you can have more than just 12 soldiers. And it's day, so let's save again. And try and fight. And it's still Grave Robber, so yeah, it's the same encounter, basically. But the map should be different. And it is, they actually start on the high ground this time. 2 archers, there. Bucklers with some weapons, and I'm all spread out, of course, because it wouldn't be fair otherwise. You get up here, and you get over here. Try to collect my units a bit. They're all going for this guy, who actually doesn't have that great armor. I should have done something about that. Oh well. Hindsight and all that. Well, the thing where you have to hunt down one guy, you can't just end the battle. You don't have to do it. If they're fleeing, you usually have a prompt up where you can choose to end the battle prematurely and still win. But you also have war hounds, which are really good at chasing down those fleeing guys and killing them. So if you have a problem with fleeing guys, get war hounds. They're really effective, and don't use them until later, where everyone is running from you and that, because they're really fragile. They cost quite a bit, but they're really effective at chasing people down. Let's get this guy over here. Let's put this guy up here. And you just stay here, I guess. And you got caught here, so. Let's see. Try to knock him back. There we go. Just in case. You get over here. Get the shield wall up and running. And you just got. Yeah, the archers for goblins are really damn annoying because they always move just out of range for the units. And it's a lot easier for the AI to tell how far the range is than it is for you, unless you're actually using that unit. And it can get a bit annoying. You set up a spear wall and wait a turn. You try to hit someone. This guy has higher chance. So let's try and shoot him. And he hit. And they're trying to shoot my archer. You wait your turn. And you get over here. No, we won't do anything there. You get over here and shield wall. No, you can't hit him, so wait your turn. You shield up because that gives you quite a bit of defense because there's other guys around you who are, and stab him. You just wait here. And you just wait here as well. And you, well, try to stab the guy instead. And you don't do anything. Well, the guy you could have stabbed is dead. I mean, it's not really worth moving you out, is it? No. So you just stay there. And you just stay there. And you just stay there. You, well, might as well put up a spear wall. 40, 29, try and shoot this guy. And hit. Oh, that's a lot of archers. And they're hitting, that's not a good thing. Whoa, he is doing some damage up there. If I put him here, he should be able to attack, but this guy will probably be dead next turn, so you just wait here. And you try to split this guy's shield. That's probably a bad idea. I need 4 to use this. Or I could use this. No, I can't use the spear wall if I move up there. But if this guy dies and they try to move closer, I can set up a spear wall here. And hopefully keep them at bay. And you go over here and shield up. Try to get some more defense. You go over here and try to chop this guy. And you're probably going to die soon, so shield up and try and stab. And you get up here and Spear wall. You get up here. I'm splitting my units, which is not necessarily a good thing, but can't really be helped in this situation. You just stay there. Guy coming at me with a dagger. He's got some walls. He went around there. I hadn't really thought about that. That's a much better choice. Now, best chance is hitting that guy, so let's get rid of him. Well, let's at least try to get rid of him. And you... That'll push him away, but it won't help much. And it's not likely to hit. But neither is this. But it did, so probably the best choice I had in that situation. Again, I'm getting overwhelmed, and that's not a good thing. I'm not killing them fast enough. Can't really move you. I can move you over here and actually hit this guy. And now he's dead. And you just wait here for a moment. And he's still alive, somehow. You get over here and run back this guy. I need to deal with these archers. So it's probably a bad idea, but let's try to get close and hit them. Or at least lock them down. So they won't be able to fire anymore. You get up here and stab this guy. So that you guys can actually possibly survive. There's the last archer. There's so many damn archers. And you just stay there. Because he's hidden in that field, so he can at least do some damage if they get close. Yeah, go up there. They're moving away, but they're not moving that far, which is good. Hit this guy. Good. Now they're all there. Which is not a good thing for me. This guy has the high ground, and there's another guy behind him, so you move up here. That's probably safer. And you can't spear wall. Not enough fatigue. Go up here. Just out of reach. So are you. You're the club-footed guy. Why are you trying to run down? And you're fatigued. And you are in pretty bad shape. Arm up and hope you survive. Arm up. Because that'll give them a bonus to defense. Because they're close to each other. This is actually a really tough fight, mostly because of those damn archers. Those guys are just holding out over there. You wait your turn. That's a bad idea. Run over here instead. Damn. I'm getting hits on them, but it's not enough. Now that guy's dead, so we can move forward. He's not going to stand much of a chance against this guy. Really need... yeah, let's do that. And now at least one archer is locked down. You're in pretty bad shape, so you won't really be doing much good. You're probably going to die to that archer. Move up here. You stay here and guard the archer. They're just staying down there. It's weird. No, there they go. You get up here. I think you can hit that guy from here. Wait. Oh, they swapped around. Bastards. Why do they have access to that skill already? I'm fitting them down and I haven't lost anyone yet. So there is that. Try to take out his shield at least before they die. Most of my guys are pretty worn out. If I move him up there, he's going to die. So go here. Wait. You lock down this archer. Don't need to do anything else, just lock him down. Yeah, stay here. Because if I leave, they're going to send people down to try and kill the archer. I don't need him dying right now. But this guy is also pretty decently equipped, so I might as well get closer. If for no other reason than to at least get some damage in. You go up here and stab this guy. Now, you don't have anyone in range, so go up here, actually. Lock down that archer. And you go up here and lock down this archer and stab him. We have one archer left that can actually shoot. But I am really spread out and that's not a good thing. There, down goes that guy. Wait, I lost a guy? Oh right, guy over here. Shield up. You're in a disadvantaged position, so if you don't, you're probably going to die. You missed. I've mostly lost guys that don't really care about those, so that's not a bad thing. Get over there. You stab this guy. Missed. Try to impale this guy. Somehow dodging, which is a good thing. down goes that archer. And down goes that guy. But he was an asshole anyways. You have to take care of this guy. Which you did. Not bad. You can't move though, so... You can't hit anyone, so... You can move closer if you want. You are in a pretty tricky situation, but try and at least take down this guy. And you're dead. But now, Dirk, the Gravedigger, is on the prowl. That's a really bad choice, but I really don't have another option. I need to lock down that archer. I'll just kill this guy already. Not that guy. Okay. That's not going too well either. But at least I have them surrounded. Dirk showing his famous head chopping skills. Get down there. Good. And he's down. Now I have a pretty decent chance of winning. Just have to survive. And there goes another one. That was Walter. Down he goes, and try and snapshot that guy. Just thought as much. You get up here, and I won. I lost 4 guys, but that's not too bad. I kept most of the guys I actually wanted to keep, so all of the guys who died, too bad, but that's life. And I got a bunch of loot. Nothing really all that interesting. Let's just take it all. And let's go turn in the mission. And I think that's going to be it for today. Get our money. Robert the Treasurer is talking to some of his men when you return to his room. He parts them and asks you of the task. You report that it is again safe to bury Nassenfeld's loved ones. Robert the Treasurer smiles. Good, good. Your payment. He snaps his fingers and one of the men steps forward, handing you a satchel. There's 360 crowns in it, as promised. Crowns well lifted. I don't have a lot of money right now, but I could sell most of this, so that might actually make me a bit. Then again, this is a place where I don't get all that much for stuff. Oh, bread is not too bad here. And might as well get some ammo. Still have enough money that I can pay my guys and be pretty comfortable. So let's go someplace else next time. Yeah. Leave all of this for now. Let's see. What do I have? Oh yeah, I have levels. I forgot about that. So, first one, Aldrich. That's the jester, isn't it? Yeah. Let's give him... see what he gets. I would like to give him a bit more health, but it's not really that high of a number. want to give him more fatigue. Yeah, it's a bit of a waste, but it's still good enough, and I need to get these stats up to make him more effective. Let's see what we are going to give him in terms of perks. Now, he has a higher chance to hit head, which is pretty good, and he has higher initiative. So I think the best thing would actually be to go on offense with him. Go for the head. Gain 10% chance to hit the head for critical damage each time you hit the head body. Bonus is reset upon hitting the head. So that would actually be pretty good for him. So let's give him that. And then Dirk, the Grey Robber, who is in good spirits. Let's see. You rolled pretty poorly as well, but it's still good enough that I'm going to increase these stats, because you're a frontline fighter, you need these. But am I going to give you... What am I going to do with you? Could go into the defense tree with. Let's see. Not too great. Matching. Unlocks an indomitable skill, which grants massive damage reduction and immunity to being stunned, knocked down, or grabbed for a limited time. That doesn't really sound all that great. Rotation, shield brow, anticipation, fortified mind. Hold out. Fortified mind is really good later on. So yeah, let's give him Colossus. Give him Spore Health. And Wolf, you're the tailor, aren't you? Yeah, the Clubfoot. You're not really that great. I did originally just plan to have you in reserve because I need a tailor, so let's see. Get... Should I get utility? Sure. Get him some more experience. Stats wise, ooh, actually got a pretty decent roll. So, more health, more fatigue, more melee skill. And Gernot. What do I do with you? Well, you rolled pretty good with brain skills. I guess you're getting that. And give you some more initiative, I think. Now, I think I'll give you more max fatigue, because you don't really need health all that much. You're an archer, so... Now, usually with my archers, I give them stuff like Pathfinder and Quick Hands, because they need a bit more mobility. Yeah, let's give you Pathfinder, just so you're more mobile. And then we'll go to offense once we get Quick Hands and maybe bags and belts. Though footwork is also pretty good. So yeah, might give him some utility skills at least, and then maybe go on to get him offense. Edward, you are pretty tanky, and you roll pretty high with that. You also roll pretty high range skill, but I don't really need that. Max fatigue I do. And let's... I mean, you're pretty tanky, so maybe I'll just make you tanky. Give you some more melee defense. And give you Colossus as well. So you have almost 100 hit points already, which compared to everybody else is pretty damn high. But that also means I probably should make you a frontline fighter rather than give you a pitchfork. Let's do that. Give you a spear. I wish I had some better armor for you, but I don't yet. Actually, I do. Give you this. And this is not better. But it's better than what you're wearing. You can get one of these two. And give you a spear. Okay. So that's everyone leveled up, right? Yeah. Let's see. I can't really afford any ammo. So let's leave. Let's go to Copenhagen. Copenhagen. Let's go there, check what's available, and then end the stream. Along the way, while the company takes a short rest, you sit down to examine the cauterized arrow wound. It's tender, but your mobility is slowly returning. Edward joins you, seizing the opportunity to talk to his captain. So the way I see it, nobody knows about the White Wolves yet. We don't want to hunt ragtag bands of bandits through the woods forever, but we will have to make a name for ourselves first as reliable swords for hire that can get things done before the noble houses take notice. They'll want to use the company for far better paying tasks, I'm sure. He adjusts his weapon belt and continues. Just we keep in mind that the High Lords are playing a dangerous game, and we don't want to get on their bad side. There's enough stories of people who cross them only to end up quartered and fed to the pigs, and they have the means to squish even a company of sellswords. We pause for a moment, and then add another thought. The guildmasters and councilmen running the villages and towns too have a good memory. We depend on them to hire the company for now, but having some influential friends may also help us get better deals with the merchants. I'll keep that in mind. That's right, the better influence you have with a settlement, the better prices and stuff you'll get. And actually, I might as well check up on that, because there's a new tab that's called Show Factions and Relations. And right now we can see there are 3 noble houses. And we have a better standing with 2 settlements, Nasenfels and Blankwasser. And we can see the leaders of those places. But we also can see the noble houses. Every noble house has their own banner, they have their own quote, so to speak. For example, House Grimond. While we have breath, we hope. That's their motto. That's what it's called. The House of Grimond revolves around a religious cult that teaches compassion towards their own, but turned them zealous and unforgiving towards their foes. Generations ago, a large orc invasion pillaged and destroyed most of what belonged to the family, and it never fully recovered. Since then, the house started many a crusade and punitive expedition deep into orc lands, but never managed to drive the greenskins off for good. So most of their missions are probably going to revolve around the orcs. House Goda. Okay, spare not. The House of Goda is well known for its lavish lifestyle, bacchanal festivities, The price has to be paid by someone, so half-starved cattle, empty granaries, and desperate townsfolk are a common sight where House Gorder rules. Although other noble houses may look down on such brutality and depletion, they are at the same time desperately awaiting their invitation to the next feast. So, they're Lannisters, basically. House Aegolf. Aegolf. The world does not suffice. Trading and haggling can be just as fierce as fighting a war. The House of Aegolf is a true master of cunning bargains. Rumor has it that many a profitable deal made by House Aegolf is not only based on honest trading, but also bribery, extortion, and deception. The family resides in the pompous region capital of Thunderhovel, but despite their unmeasurable riches, they are known to be notoriously close-fisted. Now, the interesting part is that most of these descriptions seems to be similar. I know that in my other campaign that I'm playing at the moment, these two houses have different names and different mottos, but basically the same description. This one is a new one. I haven't seen this one before. So I guess there's only a handful. But yeah, let's see. We're known, we are unknown. 380. And reputation, we're neutral. But yeah, let's go to Copenhagen. Or just wait outside at least so we can wait until daytime and see what they have. Because we're already struggling for money. Because of that one mission. And we have another mission available here. Now, for choosing the contracts, the number of skulls above the contract denotes how difficult that contract is. So, for example, this is a 1 skull contract, it's an easy contract. This is 2 skulls, which is a normal or mid-tier contract. And then there's 3 skulls, which is a lot harder. And I don't know if there's anything about that, I haven't seen it. But we should take this. Let's see, we have a barber, a tavern, a temple, and a marketplace. Let's see, what do we have for hirelings? We have a fisherman, a peddler, an apprentice, bonus to experience gain, but otherwise not really all that remarkable. Another apprentice, they have the same face. Oh well. A militia, which is too expensive. A fisherman, and another militia. And a beggar. So 2 militia. That's because they have the mustering field out here. Let's see what the marketplace has. First of all, it has a bunch of expensive stuff. I mean, look at the tools here. They're really fucking expensive. Let's sell most of these actually. We don't really need those. We don't really need these. Don't really need these. Don't need that. Let's keep at least 2 axes around. Get rid of the dagger. Keep the bludgeon. Keep the shields. Get rid of these bucklers. Get rid of the hat. Clothes aren't worth much either, so let's get rid of them. And now we have at least a decent chunk of change. And we can sell our cloth rolls for a decent amount as well. Oh, and there's a billhook. I want one of those. Actually, I want one of the long axes, but I don't see any. Guess they don't have any. But yeah, I'm going to save and end the stream here because I am getting pretty tired. It's almost midnight and I have a long day tomorrow. So I'll see you guys some other time.